Hello, my name is Fernando Corral. I'm the Senior Learning Technology Specialist with Haas Digital, and today I will be leading you through the 301 workshop, Flipping Your Course. So to begin, we'll just talk about what a flipped course actually is. So flipping your course, or a flipped course, is a pedagogical approach where students first explore content outside of class before meeting with you for a class session. So this outside of class content can be pre-recorded lecture videos. That's the most common here at Haas. It could be a digital module in bCourses. It could be reading case studies. I've seen instructors do audio podcasts if they don't want to be video. So you can create any flipped content you want and assign it to your student to review and study and read before actually meeting with you. Then when you meet with your students in person or remotely via Zoom, you can tailor that session to be more collaborative and to have more active learning rather than just lectures, right? And so your in-class time then can be organized around student engagement and active learning rather than just you lecturing and having your students listen. So active learning is a principle here that goes hand in hand with flipping your class. And it's a simple idea and concept where you're taking the lecture portion out of your class time, your face-to-face time with your students, and you're replacing it with strategies that involve more student participation, engagement, and so that your students can engage with each other and with the material in a more meaningful way when you have time to meet with them face-to-face. So if you think about your previous lectures, you would say lecture to your students for concepts about 30 or 40 minutes, and then maybe you had 20 minutes at the end of class to engage in student participation. If you assigned your students the lectures to review before meeting you, then your in-class time could be spent almost entirely on student participation, engagement. There's lots of different ways you can incorporate active learning in your collaborative group work. If you're on Zoom, you can put your students in breakout groups. If you wanted to do asynchronous collaborative active learning, you can use online discussion forums in bCourses. You can do peer-reviewed assignments in bCourses where your students submit something and then have other students review and reflect and leave responses. So there's a lot of different ways you can incorporate active learning, and it really matters about your subject matter, how to best get your students to engage with the content that you want to teach them. So the most obvious question is, what do you flip? So to put it simply, it's direct instruction is the easiest and best content to be flipped online. So if you think about previous lectures you've given, if there's any time that you've allotted in your class time where you're just explicitly teaching concepts and there's no student interaction, it's just you lecturing on a topic, that's the content you want to flip, right? So if you have PowerPoint slides and if you have a general script that you usually run through when you're in class sessions with your students, you can record that content, provide them those slides, and then assign it to your students so that they review that concept before coming to class. So then your time meeting them, you don't have to go over and do that lecture again, and then you can have that 30 minutes back to engage your students in more active learning. And a good rule of thumb here is to make sure the content you choose to flip is reusable over time. So what I mean by that is don't tailor your content to one specific course. Don't say, the current semester that you're teaching in. Don't say a student's name in your video or any of the flip content. Have your content be general lecture material that you can use semester and semester, every time you teach this course. So then once you've determined what to flip from your course lectures, the next question is, how do I record the content I want to flip, right? And like I said, the most common flipped class element is recording. So you want to record your video lectures. You have two options here at Haas that Haas Digital directly supports, and it's Zoom and Panopto. Zoom is a very easy, very simple platform you can use to record your lecture. You can simply start a Zoom meeting, don't invite anybody to come to it, share your slide deck, and have it record yourself going through your slides and giving your lecture. Your other option here that is unique to Haas is to use Panopto. So Panopto is a media library that's already integrated into bCourse, and it's an easy way to record and share video content with your students in bCourses. With Panopto, you have some added advantages if you can have multiple video streams, and it adds a little more advanced features so that your students can add bookmarks to the video. They can add comments at certain parts of a video, and we can go over that a little more in detail here. You can see, the two examples. The one on the left is a simple Zoom recording where an instructor has shared their slide deck. Zoom automatically puts a thumbnail video of you recording yourself is very important in your video lectures. We wouldn't recommend just having your slide deck and a voiceover. If you're going to do a video, students generally do better if they can see you. So Zoom is a very simple, easy way to record your lectures. The thing with Zoom is you'll have to then take that video file and share it with your students in some way. Us at Haas Digital here, we can help you link your Zoom meeting so that it automatically uploads to the media library in bCourses. You just have to reach out to us beforehand. The example here on the right is your typical example of a Panopto recording. You can see it has a lot more advanced features where on the left, the thumbnail of the instructor, there's a video of themselves where the student can actually see them talking. Below the thumbnail of the instructor, you could see they've added bookmarks through their video so that you can bookmark the sections in your video and title it so that a student knows which topic starts where. So if they want to refer back to the video at any point and jump to a specific topic to maybe review, they can, you can see on the right-hand side of the Panopto example, their slide deck. And then below that, you can see that it adds thumbnails so students can actually kind of slide through and see all the different slides that the instructor used and jump to a specific part if they want. So Panopto is a little more advanced, but it has a lot of extra features that can really elevate your flipped course to the next level. So next, I want to show you how you can use Panopto to record your flipped lecture. It's very easy. It's already integrated entirely into bCourses. So as you're probably familiar, you've already seen the media library Panopto link in your bCourse site. To record, all you have to do is click that media library Panopto link. Only you as an instructor in the bCourse site can do this, so a student can't record or upload any videos, but you as the teacher in the course site can. You click the blue create button, click record new session. Panopto, you'll have to install the Panopto app to record. It's a quick and pretty painless procedure to install. Once you've installed it once, it'll open up automatically, and then you can record. So rather than continue talking about it, I'm gonna kind of show you. So here, well, let's jump into bCourses. Here I have my bCourse site that I want to record lecture content for. And the title of my course is 301, Flipping Your Course. That's an important thing to remember, and I'll keep bringing that up throughout my workshop here, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So when I enter this course, first thing I want to point out here is I've organized this course to be a flipped course, so to speak, so that with modules built in, where you can see I've instructed students that there's content that they need to complete before our live session, or if you're meeting them in person, you can say content to complete before our in-person session. I give them information on how to connect to our Zoom live session. Again, if you're meeting in person, you can omit this. And then there's content that they should complete after your meeting with them. So homework, right? And one of the main principles of flipping your course is your flipped content should be different from your homework, right? So you should assign your students, lectures to watch or case studies to review as flipped content, but then they should still have homework after meeting with you. So with that said, we'll jump into Panopto. Click the Media Library Panopto button. And you see this blue Create button here. We'll go ahead and click that. I'm on a Mac, but if you're on a Windows, this would say Panopto for Windows. I'll go ahead and click that. If you don't have it installed, it's going to give you these quick and easy links to install Panopto on your machine, so you can go ahead and do that. But I just want to launch Panopto. So it's going to open up Panopto. And the first thing I want to point out here is the folder. And so you'll see it says default term 301 flipping your course. So that was the title of my course. So the great thing about Panopto is it gives every bCourse site that you have its own folder. And the good thing about that is there's a permission structure in place where only the students enrolled in a particular course can access that folder, meaning the students enrolled in my Flipping Your Course site cannot share these videos with anyone else outside of the other students enrolled in the course. So any content you create and add in Panopto students won't be able to share it with their friends. You won't see it on YouTube. They can't download it. So there's a permission structure in place so that only students officially enrolled in your course site can access the content. So here we'll give it a title. And so you'll notice here, you have two things, your primary source and your secondary source. So your primary source is going to be your webcam. So whatever camera you have in place on the computer you're using, you can see it's showing me. So I have a couple cameras on my machine, but I'm going to use the default, just built-in webcam on my computer. If you have multiple, USB cameras or external cameras that you want to choose, you can select from this drop-down list. Audio, again, I'm going to just use my built-in microphone, but if you have USB or, Bluetooth wireless microphones you want to use, you can select from the drop-down menu. And I can see here my microphone is working. It's capturing my audio because the green bar is moving up and down as I speak. So for secondary source here is what I'm going to have Panopto also record. In this case, I want it to record my slide deck. So I'm going to say I want it to record I have two monitors. So here it's going to record my secondary monitor. Whatever is displayed on my secondary monitor is what's going to be recorded. So that's why it shows sort of bCourses and the Panopto window is there now. But if I click record, I'm going to go ahead. I can just open up my slide deck again. And now Panopto is recording as I'm talking. I can go through my slides. I can do my lecture. And Panopto is recording in the background. One thing I always like to remind faculty is, no, we are not trained actors. We are not familiar with getting a perfect recording in one take. So don't expect to either. Panopto has editing features where you can quickly and easily edit out portions where you flubbed a line or messed up or said something incorrectly. Give yourself a breaking point when that happens. So pause. That way, when you're in Panopto, you can edit, have a quick edit point, and then jump to the spot where you begin again. So now if I click stop on this recording, saying recording's complete, I'll say upload. And so you'll see it's going to upload directly to the folder that I started in. So now if I reload this media library page in bCourses, you can see my video is automatically uploading to this folder. It'll take about, a 1-to-1 ratio is what I always tell people. If you record a 1-minute video, it'll take about a minute to upload. If you record a 60-minute video, expect it to take closer to about an hour. But once it's uploaded, like I said, any student officially enrolled in this course will be able to access the videos here. And there's multiple ways your students can access the content. A student can simply click the Media Library Panopto link in the bCourse site, and then they can access all the videos here. Or there's a little bit more elegant way I like to encourage faculty to utilize Panopto. You can give students the link directly and put it right into a module, which I'll show you how to do. Or you can, which this is what I think is the best avenue to use Panopto, is you can embed the video you just recorded right in a page. So in this example, you can add context. You can create a new page, you can add some text, you can key up some questions maybe that you want your students to think about before watching the lecture, and then embed that video right in the page so that you so that when the student is in your bCourse site, it's not just dumping a video on them, they have a little context before and after. Let's go back to our media library. You can see our video here is done. And so if the student was to click it, they can start accessing it. What I can show you is, I'll show you how you can create a page and embed that video content, right? So if I, here in our week 1 module, you could just click that plus sign, select pages from the drop-down menu. You can see I already have created a lot of pages in this site, but if you haven't, you can just say create a page, give it a title. By default, it always adds it to the bottom of your module, but you can drag and drop and place it wherever. And that's important when you're designing a flip course, because whatever order you're ordering your content, that's the order bCourse is going to tell your students to complete the content in. So it created this page in an unpublished state, which is great because that means you can edit it without worrying that students are seeing the page before you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this page. And what you're going to want to do is find this, it's the apps button. It looks like a plug. So you'll click that. And I see the Media Library Panopto link right away because it's the most frequent app that I use in bCourses. But if you don't see that, you click the View All button. And then here you'll see all the apps that are available for you to use. You'll just find that Media Library Panopto, click it. And what it's going to do, it's just going to show you all the videos you have in your library, right? So this is the one we just recorded. I'm going to choose this one because it looks a little nicer. You just say insert, and it inserts it right in the page. You can create as much content on this page as you'd like. You can add, text or questions before, context afterwards. And so then that way I'll click save and publish. And so then now that it's published, a student would be in this course would be able to navigate to this page from the module and start watching Panopto. And so you'll see they can watch it right here embedded in the page. If they click this arrow button, you get that larger, more advanced features that I was discussing before, where students have bookmarks, they can take their own notes. There's a discussion element added where students can talk to each other. These are features that are all, we can enable or disable them. So you can use them as you like. So to jump back to your next steps as a faculty member would be to really try and figure out what kind of content you can flip. Some content can't be flipped. There might be some lectures or content that you've designed that is all active learning, which is great. But those kinds of concepts are not easily flippable to videos or writings or case studies. But if you can find some content that can be flipped, practice, install Panopto, practice recording. And the great thing about flipping your course, it might seem like a lot of work up front. It is going to be a lot of work to create your video and have it discuss all the topics you want. but it's reusable over time, right? So if you teach this course every semester, we can easily copy that video over. And so, it'll be a lot of work now, but then it'll save you time in the long run. So thank you for joining my workshop. And I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.